I'm going to tell you about a guy named Richard. Richard was a successful entrepreneur in the upper Midwest of the United States. He broke away from a family business, started his own business. Smart guy. He had a chain that started off as music stores and kind of expanded into electronics, TV, stereo, stuff like that. He built his chain into, he had 8 or 10 stores. The guy's doing really good. Took him a while to figure out how to be profitable, but over time he had it. The model was working. He's making money. Life is cool. Change came along and turned this guy's world upside down, not unlike what you guys are experiencing now. But this was a literal change that literally turned his world upside down because a tornado came through this guy's town, came through Richard's town, damaged his largest, most profitable store, damaged a lot of his inventory. Now, this dude is in trouble. His business could be going out of business if he doesn't manage this thing correctly. How he responded summarizes everything I want to share with you guys this morning. Because here's what Richard did. Richard pulled his people around a table and he said, folks, we've got a tremendous opportunity here. Now stop and think about that. There's your largest store. It's a pile of rubble. And you know, a bunch of your inventory is damaged. And this guy's saying they have a tremendous opportunity. So the people must have said, Richard, what are you talking about? Where's our opportunity? He goes, well, this tornado is allowing us to do something that we could never do before. And they're like, Richard, what are you talking about, man? Richard says, hey, we can have a tornado sale. We couldn't do that before because there was no tornado, but now we've had a tornado. We can have a tornado sale. And I bet people said, Richard, what's a tornado sale? And I bet Richard said, I don't know. We've never had one before, but together we're going to figure it out. So here's what they figured out. They said, we're going to take all of our damaged inventory. We're going to fix it up as best we can. We're going to have to discount it because it's been in a tornado. Somebody must have said, but Richard, we can't let people in the store. It's too dangerous. It's too, it's too messed up. Somebody else must have said, well, the warehouse is still standing. Just let people go in the warehouse. Pick the stuff off the shelves. Why not? And then they took a risk. You cannot get through the kind of change you're facing without taking some level of risk. In your case, capital and commitment. A risk, right? Where that's adding a whole lot of cost. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to recoup that cost. It's a risk. You've got to take risk to get through change. Well, their risk was they took their advertising budget for the rest of the year, the entire budget for the rest of the year, and they plowed it into one sale. And they just plastered their town with signs and billboards and placards, tornado sale, high-end electronics at a discount. Now, the day of the sale comes, Richard looks out in his parking lot, and what do you suppose he sees? This is my question I use to sort of gauge the mindset of my audience. Because I usually get one of two responses. Either a long line of cars, which I go, good. Or then my cynics, I get another tornado. Happily, it was a long line of cars. Turned out to be the most successful sale in the history of the company. Matter of fact, the sale was so successful, they said, you know what, hey, why are we doing this every year? Even if we don't have a tornado, we'll have a tornado sale every year. So they repeated it a couple of years. Every year is the most successful sale of the company. Richard's not a dummy. He said, you know what? Just because the way we've been doing business up till now has worked doesn't mean there's not a better way. And so they permanently changed their business model after a couple of years from selling, traditional store, high-end, products, margins, to a discounted, permanently discounted warehouse model. At the time of the tornado, back in, I think it was in the early 80s or so, they had 8 or 10 stores. The chain is still around today. The chain today has well over 1,300 stores, 8 to 10 to 1,300, not bad growth, all over the globe. And the name of the chain is Best Buy. And it's a good thing for me it wasn't Circuit City. Because then I need a whole new opening to my talk, and I really like this opening. Here's my next tool for you. Let go. The chair I got on my back represents my past. It's the if-only chair. If only XYZ hadn't happened in my life, then I could be happy, successful, etc. If only my dad hadn't been an alcoholic, I could have been something. You ever hear people say stuff like that? If only I had studied something different in school and taken a different career path. If only I had joined a different company. If only I hadn't taken out that subprime mortgage, I wouldn't be in so much trouble right now. If only we had chosen, a different strategy last year. Do you know people like this? You can tell because they walk up and down the hallways. They're kind of, this is a heavy burden. So they're always kind of hunched over. Not a lot of life in their eyes. And some people, their whole life, anything negative that's ever happened to them, it sticks to them like Velcro. If only I hadn't hit that traffic jam today, man. I was in a good mood when I left the house, but a horrible mood by the time I got to work. Of course, this person never recognized that traffic jam's there every day. But they pick that chair up every day. And this chair gets heavy. And guess what? We all carry our chairs, don't we? And how long do we hold on to some of these chairs? The if-onlys in our life. If only I'd married somebody different. You ever known people that are divorced legally, but emotionally? That's how you can find out they're still carrying the chair. Hey, tell me about your ex. Okay, I got it. They're still carrying the chair. Now, others of us pick up this chair. It's just as heavy, but it goes in the other direction. That's the chair of the past. This is the chair of the future. This is the what-if chair. And boy, do you guys got some what-if chairs you could pick up now. What if that Kaplan commitment thing puts me under? What if I just can't hit my numbers trying to do that Kaplan commitment? What if 2/3 of my students decide after 4 weeks they're out of there and I haven't got a dime and I got a lot of expenses going out? What if those regulations, are even more severe than we think? What if they put us out of business? A lot of the what-if questions are reasonable questions, but you're carrying the chair when you begin to respond emotionally as if the event has already happened. And some of you can relate to this one. What if I go to the beach on vacation and it rains? Oh my gosh. And and we're picking that chair up. Now, some of us do what I call the double whammy. Double whammy looks something like this. And by the way, this example is true for men or women now. We pick up this chair and go, if only my spouse hadn't left me. Then we get thinking about it. Pick up this chair and go, what if they come back? And we're burdened. And Beth, I can say, Beth, come on up here right now and give me a golden opportunity. Give me a ring. Beth, give me a golden ring of opportunity. She could put that ring right in front of my nose. I can't do a thing about it unless I do what? I got to let go of the chairs.